If I was someone who started this series with the Axis movies, this movie would have made me quit. Now let's talk about Puppet Master Axis Rising.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
Rising takes place the very second Evil ends. We see a recasted Asian woman hand over the bag of puppets she stole to the Nazis who were waiting outside. No, I meant bag of puppet, as in a singular one. Sure, there were others in the bag she stole at the end of Evil, but for the sake of the plot, there's just one of them, because why not? So she gives the bag over to the Nazis, and out pops Tunneler, which drills one of them in the face, resulting in her murder and the Nazis now obtaining one of Toulon's magical marionettes. The majority of the movie sees us watching the Austrian scientist work on reanimating the dead. I guess it's possible that Hess's work from part 3 was a huge thing, and this is the Nazis trying to continue where he left off. That, or it's totally unrelated. And on the flip side of things, we see Danny and his girlfriend Beth get jerked off by everybody around, because you two are heroes. No, they're not, at all. If you remember the last movie, Danny takes the puppets to the theater to kill the Nazis. Well, for some reason, I guess the Americans knew about this, and so the very first scene with Danny and Beth sees them get jumped by two soldiers who take them to meet with some high-ranking military guy, and the dude immediately congratulates them for saving the country. Never mind the fact that Limpy didn't do shit but watch everyone get killed, and all Tradwife did was sit in a chair with rope around her, so the Danny side of the movie just sees him getting his little crippled ass kissed, as well as he himself being mopey and annoying because, "Darn, me wanna be a wheel soldier." Ugh. His whole personality is I want to kill, me want army. It's so annoying. And the scientist, his side of the movie, sees him hard at work using the newly acquired Tunneler puppet to make the living dead. There's also a really hoey Nazi lady that tries to make the moves on him. She basically forces him to reciprocate them, and then when he finally gives in, she snaps at him. And there's also General Mobius, the main evil Nazi dude who is forcing the scientist to try to get the reanimating machine working. Don't know anything about the machine, but it's a zombie making thing that Mobius has for some reason. So eventually the scientist puts together some puppets using the magic life juice he reverse engineered, and they, along with the hero puppets, end up in a brief fight scene that ends with Mobius dead, and the scientist leaving with some of the magic juice. I don't know if you could tell from my overall attitude, but this one really sucked. For starters, the acting was incredibly bad, and none of our main characters were fun to watch. As a matter of fact, I hated Danny and Beth. Beth is just a dick-riding 50s stereotypical wife, and Danny's entire personality, again, is just wannabe soldier. It's very annoying. He feels like that one any minority character that's only put in a movie to be a stereotype. Their whole personality is, hey, I'm from this country, hey, I like this. That's it. It's, me wanna kill ethnic slurs, blah blah blah. Again, just annoying. Holy shit. Some people like this movie. I was surprised. Some people actually like these new actors and the characters. I don't know how, but hey, if you can enjoy it, that's good for you. The hoey Nazi lady was stupid, and I feel like the only reason she existed was because Charles Band wanted to make Booby Puppet. That puppet was annoying as hell also. Her whole gimmick when she becomes a doll is, I must laugh like something from Alvin and the Chipmunks while shooting rice-sized bullets from my titties. All the puppets look horrible, by the way. They were so cheap looking. I've seen fan-made shit look better. And oh my god, they reused the hell out of so many shots. Some back to back to back. I swear it was worse than Axis of Evil when it comes to this shit. That stuff aside though, what about the scenes we get with the puppets? Were they any good? No, they weren't. Not only do we have to wait about 40 minutes after the opening Tunneler scene to get anything with puppets at all, but the small handful of scenes we do get were all horrible. Especially the not one, but two cat fight scenes we get with Leech Woman and Booby. You know, because they're women. So that means they need to slap and pull hair. Because, you know, girls. Lol. I wouldn't care if it was good. I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't give a shit if you wanted to do some goofy little cat fight. But when everything else sucks so bad, at least make the fight scenes genuinely cool. Try to make an attempt. And making the two puppets with tits just slap each other and pull hair, it's not as funny as you might think it is, Charles Band. Everything about the Axis films, it's just a waste of time. But anyway, I could also complain about the random plot convenience shit like Nazis randomly getting a letter saying, hey, this high-ranking general's in town, right after seeing Danny and Beth get told this top-secret info. Or I could complain about how Danny leans pretty far away from a door, but somehow his hand lands on one brick that opens it. The door is a flimsy sheet of rotten-looking wood. I don't know why that needed to be a secret entrance thing, but okay. Or hey, what about all the moments where puppets try communicating by doing nothing? Puppets will look at Danny and he'll go, "What's that? You want pizza?" The puppet will just stare blankly. "Oh, you want anchovies, pepperonis, no cheese at all, and extra sauce? That seems odd." He'll look at another puppet. "Haha, yeah, you're right, Pinhead, that was funny. What kind of idiot gets this kind of pizza?" Like, he'll communicate with them just by looking at them doing nothing at all. It's so bad. There's also the horribly racist Asian puppet named Kamikaze, who along with Bombshell the booby puppet, speaks for some reason. And there's also that weird plot convenience thing where Leech Woman just so happens to be carrying around Six Shooter's head. Why? So there can be a totally cool and badass ending fight, which is really lame. Also has a random black costume for some reason. Don't know when they would have made that or changed the puppet, but okay. I know I'm complaining a lot, but you gotta understand, this movie is just torture. I have sat through 11 of these now, most of them pretty bad. The earlier ones, bad but fun. These ones, just bad and boring. Anyway, just a side note, for a series that loves reusing shit from the older movies, I don't know why they didn't reuse Albert Band's audio for Six Shooter. The new laugh they had for him is horrible, and nowhere near as memorable or iconic. Yes, Six Shooter does have a stupid little laugh, but that's just one of the things you like about him. His little heh heh heh. And here, I forget how it sounded exactly, but it was some really basic, generic I hate it, I really do. And hey, one more big complaint before ending this thing. As seen in Axis of Evil, each puppet seemingly has their own individual bottle of life juice. And as we know from previous films, like putting the homeless boy in Retro Pinhead, or how having animal parts in part 2 caused Andre to mimic the animal, the life juice that came from Tunneler, for some reason, was able to make Bombshell act just like the ho-Nazi lady she was before. You would think he'd wind up creating an army of little tunnelers, but nope, because forget the lore and everything else, the magic serum bullshit just makes no sense. They're always adding things, retconning things, ignoring things. I apologize for just how ranty this review has gotten, but it really is not good. In the end, I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. Yes, 3.5 is pretty high, but it ultimately comes down to this not being the worst thing I've ever seen. I have seen horrible movies, and I know that those movies do not compare to this, but this is still really bad. Like, awful shit. I know there's people who love them. I have seen reviews where people will praise these movies, but they're just not for me. And you know what? Chances are, if I went back and rewatched Evil right now, I think the rating I gave it would drop. These past two movies have been a whole lot of nothing, and ultimately, I can't say I'm looking forward to the next movie. Fingers crossed the remake and spin-offs are at least a little bit better. If you've seen this movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.
Looking for more horror fun?
You're goddamn right.
Then check out the VHS comic book series, a parody of the horror genre that follows the lives of 3 teens as they fight to survive a horror movie, where every day is loaded with blood, boobs, and buds. The first 2 issues can be found in the description below.
I was obsessed with